I have been seeing the trailer for Twisters in the movie theater for the last few months, and I was not impressed. To me, it just seemed like the perennial Hollywood-esque sequel to a movie that came out a few decades ago, now updated with better effects and not much else. All the same, this has been a fairly light summer in terms of movies, a consequence in no small part due to the writer's strike of last year. And as such, I figured I might as well give the flick a watch. And boy, am I glad I did. Not since, not since The Fall Guy has a trailer so undersold a film. Fortunately, unlike the case of The Fall Guy, Twisters actually looks to end up becoming a box office hit. I will reserve my box office predictions until the end of the video. First, the much more important questions. What's this film about? And is it any good? The film follows amateur stormtrooper Kate Carter. 5 years after a terrible incident while trying to destroy a tornado that grew out of hand unexpectedly, Kate is called back from her new home of New York City back to Oklahoma by an old friend, just for 1 week to help them test a new method of scanning tornadoes. Reluctantly, and still dealing with the trauma from her last time storm chasing, Kate agrees. In returning home, Kate has to confront not just her old ghosts and the titular Twisters themselves, but also colorful YouTuber and storm chaser Tyler Owens, who calls himself the Tornado Wrangler, and his crew. And as for the question of, is it any good? The answer is a definite, yup, pretty much. Do not get me wrong, this is no masterpiece of cinema. In particular, the writing around Anthony Ramos's character Harvey is rather inconsistent. Ramos aptly acts with the material he is given, but the script can never seem to make up its mind about what role his character should play in the story, whether he is a rival love interest or a human antagonist. The character's total impact on the story is simply to be a plot device to bring Kate back into the field, and in truth the entire character and Stormpar storyline could have been cut without much changing at all. In general, the film struggles with its human antagonists, and probably should not have had any in the first place. "I don't care about the people," growls one particularly one-dimensional character. But despite these flaws, overall Twisters itself remains a very, very fun film. Glenn Powell and Daisy Edgar Jones have great chemistry and bounce off each other very well. The effects are visually solid, and it's never too long before another Twister shows up to add action and danger to the story. Unlike the vast majority of male characters today in mainline Hollywood films, Owens is never denigrated or taught a lesson. He's just there, eating up the scenery, and it's fantastic. The relationship between Kate and Owens is the heart of the film, and the heart rings true. This movie has a wonderfully American sense of life. It is a semi-popcorn movie and it knows it. From the rodeo diversion to the borderline crazy tornado wrangler with his beefed-up truck, to scenes of innovating to solve the problem, the movie just exudes optimism and fun. And yes, there are fireworks. Christos has made a very splashy box office debut, churning up almost $125 million in its first weekend. For its budget, which is still arguably too big, even though it does do a much better job at showing where the money went as compared to most Hollywood movies, at somewhere over $150 million, it's excellent. However, there is the Goliath in the room, to mix my metaphors, in the form of the MCU's Deadpool and Wolverine, which by all accounts is a smash hit. Deadpool 3 will probably end up eating away at much more of Twister's potential audience, with little left over. I do now hope that Twisters manages to become a success, but with the cards so stacked against it, I cannot say I am confident. So in my opinion, Twisters is a fun popcorn flick in a time where such things are quite rare and valuable. All in all, a fun movie, with a lot more heart than it might show on the surface. I heartily recommend it for anyone looking for 2 hours to unwind and enjoy themselves.